What's up? This t-shirtkings247.com. I recently researched all the other internet sites that sell shirts like we do. And by far, we are the cheapest. With us, you order 20 shirts, you get 60% off. You order 50 shirts, you get 65% off. It's hard for me to properly articulate the deal you're getting because it's so damn good. t-shirtkings247.com, 937-603-4494. Whatever you need, we bring it right to your door. What's up, everybody, man? Welcome to For Shits and Giggles podcast. I'm Ahava Elian. I got my cousin, my brother, Remy G, Kareem Gilbert, and my brother, T.A. Terrence Oster. And we got a great show for you guys tonight. But first, I do want to take one moment before we start getting into the show. We want to remind everybody to please subscribe to our channel. Make sure you hit the like button so every time we drop new content, you'll get alerted. So like, subscribe, and ring the bell notification so you can get alerted every time we drop new content. t-shirtkings247.com. We want to invite everybody to check out our website. Go online. We ship shirts all over the country, customized t-shirts, bang, real quick with free local delivery. And when you go order 20 or more shirts, you get over 60% off. And that is the deal we're running right now. And then also, we got Gilly Boy Trucking. Cuz, is that the name of the trucking company?
Gilly Boy LLC.
Gilly Boy LLC. And that is my cuz business. So you know what I'm saying? We getting it popping. And then if you need some prescription drugs,
I was about to say, I ain't got nothing for sale out here today. I got
you know, we might end up getting locked up over it, but you know, it's still all good.
There we go.
But before we start, cuz let's say this, because you know we had said we're going on Sunday and Thursdays, and we're doing a special episode today on Wednesdays because of tomorrow being your birthday. So let's give a shout out to you. Your happy 50th birthday tomorrow. So this is why we're going a day earlier, so you can go out and celebrate your birthday. So happy birthday to you. Everybody, please show him some love. Turning 50 tomorrow.
Yep, get in the comments, you guys. Everybody that's watching, man, please comment, and we want to engage with you guys in the comments. Y'all can even, since we're going live, you can even give us a super chat. You know what I'm saying? A super chat, that means you just break a little bread that get your comment read. So, yep, man. But thank you guys for the 50th birthday wish, Remy. Bone, your turn to tell me.
I don't like the pressure you're trying to put on, but actually, you should have heard the first one that I said. What would the 50-year-old Ahava tell a 30-year-old Ahava? What has changed? What type of advice would you give him?
Man, I would tell him to kind of like, I would say keep doing what you're doing, but just make sure that you just stay focused. You know, just I like about where I'm at. You know what I mean? So I would probably say just kind of like keep doing what you're doing, but enjoy your victories, man. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times I think it's like on to the next, man. We accomplish one thing and then try to like fix up that thing. So for example, if you buy a car, next thing you know, oh, I want to put some rims on it, or I want to get the interior done, or I want to do this and that. So the same thing is with these business accomplishments. You know, you get a new store. Oh, now you want to fill the store up. And then now, oh, you want to make $1 million in here. Oh, you made $1 million. Now I need to do it again the next year without even stopping to just, you know, just celebrate and enjoy whatever it is that you set your goal and you achieve the goal, but it's always like to the next thing. So I want to take a little time to just, you know what I'm saying, give thanks for the most part. So that's what I would tell. Continue to give thanks, man, for sure. For sure.
I like that.
For sure. Shedeur. Shedeur.
I like nice segue. Nice segue. I like how you did it, bro.
I mean, man, for everybody that's watching the podcast, man, I think that we've all heard the saying that the cream rises to the top. And I think that we've all heard the saying, like, look at God, man, you know? And I think that Deion Sanders has a nice moniker of God. They kind of like, it's no secret he associates and gives thanks to God for like whatever he accomplished. And I think that that has also trickled down to Shedeur. And to me, it seems like that the Browns, for whatever reason, and the NFL had some type of collusion to like keep Shedeur out the league or not let him play or something. But just as the Most High would have it, like everybody else done got hurt, so now they gotta let Shedeur play. You know, and it's preseason. I don't know how good the Panthers are this year, but it's just good that he got a shot to go out there and do good, and I think that he's gonna play well. But what's y'all's thoughts on Shedeur becoming the starter for the first preseason game?
If I'll take the first shot at it. I probably have the
Yeah.
most unpopular opinion on Shedeur. I think that he's gonna get a chance to showcase his talent, and I think that's a good thing. I think that all the stuff that you said about Deion and what he represents and how he lives, totally true. But I think
Yeah.
that Shedeur is going to be, like I said, I think it's a good thing that he's going to have an opportunity to play and showcase what kind of talent that he has. But on the flip side, I don't necessarily think it was collusion in the way that you're saying, as far as him getting drafted where he did and all the stuff
Mhm.
leading to the draft. I don't necessarily think that. I don't think that he was as I don't think he was necessarily the first round draft pick coming out last year. So I may have a different opinion of his overall talent than what most people think, based on
Yeah,
what he did at Colorado.
my take on that is that we know everybody got their different opinion on what it is and what took place and how you view it. So now the thing is now he has opportunity. So now I don't that's in the rear view. So I'm just wanting to see him rooting for him right now to go out on Friday and perform and show that he belongs, even with it being a preseason game. It's always the steps, you know what I'm saying? So now you give me the opportunity, let me shine. Let me shine in preseason, and then we keep the shine going. Now, what is funny in there is that even though you say well how he got drafted and everything is the fact that they for some reason had never been letting him get any type of reps with the first team. And then
Right.
now, ironically, now you have to start him in your first preseason game because other people went down. So it doesn't matter. Like you said, the cream rise to the top. So now he has his opportunity to go out there and show and to discredit Bone and whoever else feels that he wasn't that type of talent. You know what I'm saying? So he
It
had
ain't
Bone,
discrediting
let me
me.
ask this though. Let me ask you this, Bone. Is it possible for Shedeur to play so well in his preseason game that he just gets the starting job and never relinquishes it?
I doubt it in a preseason game. I doubt it. I mean, anything's possible. I haven't seen that happen before, but it's definitely an opportunity for him to improve his stop. Because it'll be him playing not only playing getting first team reps, but more than likely he'll be playing against a first team defense, and you'll get to see how he responds, how he reads. I would assume most of the plays that he's going to have are going to be scripted coming out. But yeah, he'll have an opportunity to showcase what he can do, and they'll be looking at not even necessarily whether plays are successful or not, but whether or not he's making the proper reads and if he's checking into and checking out of looks that they want him to, that they want him to see. And I think the real telltale sign is not even necessarily how he plays in the game, but how he prepares this week leading up to Friday, because they'll have inter squad scrimmages where he's gonna get real live sessions where they're going to be, getting the reps to see, okay, this is the film that he's putting together. He's making the right checks. He's making the right reads. And hopefully he's performing well if he's getting those reps. And leading up to that, it sounded like he really wasn't getting as many quality reps because he's getting reps with the ones prior to all the injuries that occurred. But I think in the NFL, that means a lot in the preseason, what you do in practice, how how you look against, when they have the two separate teams come together and they practice against one another, because they're going to purposely put you in certain situations and see how you respond. So hopefully he's looking good then, but that's going to tell more of a story than even I think what's going to happen on Friday.
Big
Yeah,
bro Will Blackburn said, "What's up, big bro?" Will
yeah,
Blackburn, tell me happy birthday. Terrell Bridges, bro. Man, Terrell, bro, I promise I just asked Remy about you, bro. We talked about you on like, I don't know, like maybe 2 podcasts ago. And because your name came up when we was talking about like Fairview. So, bro, it's really good to hear from you, bro. Man, me and Terrell went to Meadowdale Elementary together. So we like this, bro. You know, he was about the tallest kid in the class. I was like the shortest, you know.
He's still the shortest.
Cool.
But to answer your question, because
Carl Glenn, hold on, Coach Carl said what's up too, bro. So say what's up to my brother. Tell me
that is a
so
run of individuals that should have never left Fairview at the end of the day. Those are big time decisions that, I mean, I'm sure if you ask Blanton's as well as Terrell, they probably look back at those decisions like that was a bad thing to do to leave Fairview.
Yeah, y'all made bad decisions leaving. Y'all was free agents.
You made bad decisions
leave Fairview and end up getting whooped. By Reem. He ran into Reem.
If they stayed at Fairview, man, it would have been unfair, man. It would have been.
Me
it would have definitely been unfair.
I wouldn't have been on the squad.
Hey, I'm glad Terrell and Carl left, so now that made room for me and Bone.
And you know what? It wouldn't have been that bad, because I mean, the clock that I was getting, I to this day, I say Miss Taylor didn't want to see me be great, man.
But because to answer your question back on Shedeur, though, on how well he plays, would it get him the starting lineup? Well, actually, a lot of NFL coaches always have the mentality that someone doesn't lose their spot because of injury. So I don't really think it matters how well he plays, that when these guys come back off of the hamstring injury, they're still going to be given the opportunity then to play themselves up out of the position, as opposed to more so of him being able to play himself into it. So that's because
ain't none of them players that's playing in front of him so well established that it makes sense for them not to be able to give up their spot. I mean, man, Flacco, I know Flacco may have an ego, but bro, he done already won him a couple of Super Bowls. Man, sit back, man, get out the way, bro. But are the Browns good? Like, even if Shedeur is good, you know what I mean?
On paper, the Browns are decent. I'll say that at least. They're not. I think their reputation,
they're competitive,
that they gonna, but they have talent out there. I mean, it's inarguable.
That's every year the Browns look good on paper, and then when they get out there and those ugly uniforms playing, the game looks just as bad as the uniforms.
Man,
true.
I don't know, man. Hopefully they can figure it out, man, and get Shedeur in there playing. But if the Browns are bad, right, and no matter how good your quarterback is, if the line is terrible, if the receivers ain't receiving and this and that, the quarterback isn't going to show up like they was really balling. So with that being said, if the Browns aren't really good, do you still want to see Shedeur out there just playing and getting acclimated to the league, or would you rather him get traded, picked up by somebody else that
he get picked up by somebody else? He'll be in the same position that he's in Cleveland more likely than anything else. So all things being equal, I think it's always better to get on the field, whether you suck or nothing. I mean, especially when you coming in regardless of what you think the draft position matters. He was a 5th-round draft pick. And at the end of the day, as a 5th-round draft pick, you want to get on the field and show that you can play and play at that level. So I wouldn't care if they were horrible. I would want to be on the field. You know what I mean? You don't want to hope for anyone to get injured, but that's a blessing in disguise if, you know, the injuries linger or whatever the case may be, or someone gets hurt and you get on the field. That is what you want. If, you know, Drew Bledsoe doesn't get hurt, you don't hear of Tom Brady. That's what, you know, that's sort of how that happened. So Shedeur, I want to get on the field regardless. And if you get a chance to play, you want to play. If they bad, they bad. If they good, they good. But you want to field regardless.
See, the thing also with that is that, you know, with him being a rookie, he has to be in a position that they allow that if he's going to be playing, that they live and die with what his performance is. A lot of times in those situations, people are put in situations, but as soon as their performance is a little bad, then they're yanked out. And it's kind of hard to play when you can't relax. And the only time you can relax is when you are able to know that I'm in a situation where I can play through my mistakes.
Right.
And so that's what I wonder, is he going to be given the opportunity? Because what is the expectations of him now? He's had limited reps with the first team, but he's starting the first preseason game. So what are your expectations? You know what I'm saying? And what happens? So if he doesn't play as well to start off, will he get an opportunity to play through it, or will he be snatched and then not have the opportunity again? And that's the biggest question. And what remains to be seen with how they handle it with that is if they're going to live and die with whether he's good or bad.
Hey, one thing for sure, and 2 things for certain.
Make it happen, Jim.
Where we going with this?
I like where you're going with that.
The cream gonna rise to the top, man. I expect Shedeur to get out there, but man, you know, and then we'll move off of this topic. But there is one thing that I want to give Bone pushback, bro. Bro, you don't think that the NFL was trying to send some type of message to Shedeur at all? Like going in the 5th round now. Mm-hmm. It seems like either because Dion was saying there's some teams that he ain't gonna play for, or whatever the case may be, but it seemed like that was, and then they prank called my boy on the draft day when it was just like
that part
going on and on and on. Where I don't know, man. That it seemed like the NFL owners are a fraternity. And they stick together through stuff, man. And I think that they did that with Kaepernick. And I think that it showed itself again, just about them being able to stick together and be on one accord about drafting Shedeur Sanders in order to send some type of message.
Okay.
I don't know. Well, it seemed like it was something.
Let me ask you then. Let me ask you this then. What message do you think they sent? Because I think if you pay attention to all the events leading up to the draft, I can get what happened. That's what I'm saying. For me, I don't think that it was much of a collusion thing. I believe that Shedeur Sanders wasn't the talent that they thought inside the Colorado and the Sanders camp. They thought that he was going to essentially be a top 5, top 10 pick. I didn't necessarily think that going in. If you remember going into the draft,
some people had him like number 1 or number 2 on the draft board.
I don't think any NFL
Mel Kiper, he's one of the biggest draft analysts there is.
And he's not an NFL draft. He's not employed by any NFL team. I don't think any NFL scout had him number 1 or number 2 on a draft board. And I think going into the draft, Shedeur decided that, you know, certain things he wasn't going to do. He wasn't going to throw. He wasn't going to do certain interviews. And I think those things came back and bit him. Now, if you truly are that talented in the NFL, what I have seen historically, you that talented, yeah, you don't have to throw, you don't have to do certain things, and you can sort of flex at or at the combine and do that, have that sort of posture. But if you are questionable, you better be out there throwing and you better be out there competing. He didn't. And I think, I mean, a lot of people lose sight of that when they talk about what happened with Shedeur. If you're coming into a league and all the owners they're expecting to see you throw and they're expecting to see you compete and you don't, and on the flip side, his teammate, Travis Hunter, he didn't run. He didn't do anything. And you know what? He is a talent that they're like, you can get away with that. It didn't bite him.
No, Shawnee Mack said, he said TA tripping. He was at minimum the second best QB in the draft.
Sean McCullough. If he was, it will show.
BP,
I don't think
I can't stand people who think like TA just annoying. The comments is coming for you, Boom.
I appreciate that. Now, look, if I'm wrong, I can admit it, but I'm pretty certain when you see him play, the truth will come out.
So let me
put it like this: he didn't have any game where he competed against defenses like Cam Ward did. I'll stand by.
I'm gonna answer the original question that you asked back to Hava. What was the lesson that they were trying to teach? It's the lesson that they always try to teach to black men, called humbleness. For some reason, they always figure that if somebody is brass and confident and come out here and they express their confidence and talk intelligently and they call it arrogance. So therefore, what they always want to do is to try to humble black men, to try to say that your arrogance is a problem when it's confidence. But yet it's something that when it comes from a white player, it's celebrated. It's celebrated as he's a competitor and he just goes out there and he competes at an ultimate level. But those same things, when those attributes are in a black athlete, they are deemed as something wrong. They've done it with T.O. They've done it with all type of other. This is just speaking on in the NFL. They've done it with Ocho Cinco. This is Randy Moss. This is how they do it. And they're always going to try to find a way to say, hey, we're going to humble you. And this is what they were trying to do to Deion and his family. We're going to humble you. Absolutely. Did it work? No, because who are you to humble anybody? No, nobody, no man can humble you.
It worked. Well, it worked a little. It worked a little. But we got BP. Now, this brother has Colorado Buffalo logo as his profile. So, BP, are you locked in with the Buffaloes? Do you know Shedeur Sanders personally? Because he seems like he's really like standing up for Shedeur. Because he said like a fish taking any bait he gets. So he said one of us is talking with our eyes closed like a fish taking any bait he gets. You're a mean person, man. But so we'll see. We'll see. I mean, this is a perfect opportunity. No, okay, Bone, let me ask you this though, bro, because you are really our football expert. When a quarterback, right, doesn't have the reps in practicing with the first unit, but then they say, okay, this first game you're gonna be out there with the first unit. Mm-hmm. I mean, does that hinder his performance because he's not used to throwing to this first squad, or do you think that he should be capable of just going out there and just taking over and getting busy?
No, it'll impact him because a lot of what you do is based on timing, especially in a lot of what you see in the NFL today in these West Coast offenses. You rely on time to be able to execute at the highest level. So it'll be difficult. It's not easy just to go and develop rapport with your receivers, understand and see what they see if you're making adjustments on the go. So that aspect of the game will be difficult for sure.
Mm. Okay. All right. Well, we'll see. Can we get everybody that's watching, man, put it in the comments. Do you think that Shedeur Sanders will have a good game in his first preseason game? And how many touchdowns will Shedeur Sanders throw? Let me know. Let us know in the comments what you think. Certainly not a 5th round pick. TA, do your homework. Most, if not all, analysts pre-draft had this kid ranked high. He took not one snap since then, got pushed to the 5th round for no reason. I was referring to TA previously. And then Big Bro Will Blackburn, Dylan Gabriel, Tyler Ho. Really, if his name was Shedeur Jones, he would have been a 1st or 2nd rounder. So what they're saying is it's obvious to them that this was an effort to disrespect Deion Sanders.
Draft analysts are just that, draft analysts. They are not in NFL boardrooms. I'm just saying the truth. Don't get mad at me for saying the fact. They're wrong every single year. Every year. The only reason that you're highlighting that is because it was Shedeur Sanders. They had the kid from Texas. He's supposed to be a top draft pick, and he went in the 7th round. But no one's talking about it because he's not as big a name as Shedeur Sanders, but he played at a bigger program than Shedeur did. No one talks about him going in the 7th round, the quarterback that was out of Texas.
What does playing at a bigger program, what does that have to do with it? What does that have to do with the talent of a player? Does it matter where you play? Steve McNair played at Alcorn State.
Look at what Steve McNair put up. Look at the numbers Steve McNair put up.
I understand the numbers you're saying, but I'm saying but when you say somebody plays at a bigger program, what does that really matter, especially once you start talking about the college level?
I'm saying at the college level, he was projected as a larger prospect than Shedeur. Shedeur wasn't a huge prospect until his last year at Colorado. Even when he was at Jackson State, he wasn't projected as a 1st-round draft pick. He ended up being projected where he was after, I think, that would have been his junior or senior year. The kid out of Texas, he came in as the #1 quarterback in the nation. He left out getting drafted in the 7th round. No one talks about that, and draft analysts were saying that he would be one of the top picks in the draft, especially at Texas, because they were supposed to be a top program this year. But he fell off. He went in the 7th round. I'm not saying that to justify you being a better player. I'm just saying what draft analysts say don't really matter. It's what people say in the NFL boardrooms, the people that are really looking at these guys on tape. That's what matters. And
that question goes asked, do you really think everyone that's in an NFL boardroom is qualified to be there?
That's an entirely different question. Probably not, but those are the people that's going to be making those decisions at the end of the day, not the draft analysts. And the draft analysts are wrong every year. You know what I mean? That's all I was making the point of, is that they're not. It's an imperfect science. But
that's true.
Looking at
we got a comment
on the field. That's where I'm making my judgment from.
So we got a comment that says, this is Will. He said he'll likely be throwing to the same cats he's been throwing at to in practice on the 2nd and 3rd team. First teamers aren't playing past a few snaps, if at all. So he will get a chance to get out there and throw to some of the people that he's been throwing to all along, because the starters will probably play a couple of snaps or maybe one series and then be out of there. All right. And then Boomer came back and said, Boomer A, who is a former quarterback, literally said that he had inside knowledge that the QBs took him off the boards because of his attitude. I think the term was take that MF off our draft boards. Oh, he said the owners took him off the draft boards, not the QBs. So So are you saying that there was somebody privy to the owner's conversation of saying, take that MF off our draft boards? Man, come on, man.
Listen to that.
Who said that, bro? Now, who heard the owner say that? Take that MF off our draft board.
Let me ask both of y'all this question then.
Mm.
Respond how you may. If Shedeur Sanders was the talent that his father was, and he did everything that is alleged that he did, do you think he's still going to 5th round?
No.
I'll wait.
No.
So this is what you mean when you say that, because as a quarterback, Shedeur's stats and stuff say that he was a very talented player that should not be a 5th round draft pick. But Deion was a freak of nature as an athlete. So what?
My question was, if he was as talented as his father, would he have gone in the 5th round? I think if anyone is being honest, you'll say no.
So, but this is what I'm saying is, how do you, when you compare two totally different positions of saying that the talent is, Shedeur threw for his completion rate was 70%. That ain't the talent.
No, this is what I'm saying. When Deion came out of college, he was unquestionably the best cornerback on the board. Period. End of story. If Shedeur were that this year, there would have been no talk about none of what he did at the combine. You want to know why? Because that talent would have said, hey, people would have said, we're going to take that kid regardless. So now, I'm not saying what his completion percentage was. Regardless of his completion percentage, there was still a legitimate question. Is he better than Cam Ward? And if there was even a question, when I talk about him at Colorado, when he played against the best competition from a defensive perspective, his last 2 years at Colorado, he didn't play his best ball. Now that is, you can say he had a bad line. You can say, he didn't have great receivers, and you really can't say that because
he had good
in the first round. But what NFL executives look at, they're going to make that argument. You didn't play your best ball when your best ball was required. So that's always going to be an issue. I mean, at the end of the day, it's the truth.
It's the truth. I think that's still kind of opinionated, because like when you say, I personally thought he was better than Cam Ward. So when you look at it from that standpoint, now it's a matter of opinion. So even if it is, but going up to answer your question, so Deion was definitely the best. But if Shedeur is in the top 2 of quarterbacks, so even if Cam Ward was a better quarterback, none of the rest of them that went before him was. So there's no way that he drops to being a 5th round pick. So if what you saying, like you said, you felt Cam Ward was the best quarterback. Okay, well, he won. That means Shedeur's too. How do he fall to the 5th round? Because none of the rest of them guys that went before him were better.
I didn't necessarily. Well, that once again, just like you said, that's an opinion, and I was just using Cam Ward as an example. But there's an argument that people would say the kid out of Ole Miss was better than Shedeur. And they'll use the argument, he played in the SEC. The talent that he's seeing, the defenses that he's seeing are legit every week as compared to what Shedeur was seeing out in Colorado on a weekly basis.
So are you really trying to act like?
And that makes a difference. So, it's still going to be subjective and people are going to have an opinion on it. But I was just throwing Cam Ward out there because he was the number 1 quarterback taken. But those other cats, people were saying they were better than him.
CJ commented, fact, Shedeur's not the best QB. He's good, but not the best.
I mean, it's the truth. And I think that's that is an opinion, but it's not like he was hands down just that guy.
TABP said, did TA play football in the NFL?
Never.
Never, but he played. He won a national championship in college, though. So what did you? What did you do?
Like I said, it's all opinionated and based off of who likes who or what type of style. But I still just don't feel that. I feel like there was still an agenda that took place regarding the Sanders family. You know what I'm saying? And whether or not, however some people should view it, if you say you don't feel he was a quarterback that was that good, that's cool, and that's a way to justify it, but it still don't change the fact of the agenda. And you see that just the way Deion still get crucified in the media all the time now for which he got that when he was a player, and now he get it as a coach. You know what I'm saying? So I just think the Sanders family is going not ever please. It's money making and news to talk about them. That's really what it is. The same way that it is with the James family. You know what I'm saying? It's money making, and you have these topics every week, and like we talked about, there's sportscasters who have made a complete living and made generational wealth off of discussing these two men and their kids.
Man, you know what I just thought of? Man, I won't go as far as to say every time, but I am seeing a little bit of when Black fathers are extremely proud of their sons and like beat their chest for their sons. It's met with a little bit of resistance and a little bit of resentment. Like Deion Sanders, who do you think you are? LeBron, who do you think you are? LeVar Ball, who do you think you are? T. Morant, who are you? So it's kind of like, like you do got a lot of present fathers who really love their sons, but they may not be as vocal about it. And I think the fathers that I've seen, especially Black fathers, that are vocal and, you know what I'm saying, just like basically outgoing about their sons, is being looked at as just like bombastic nepotism. Bro, you know how much nepotism goes on in this world in general? We're not going to categorize it in sports, but just nepotism in general in life is just a normal part of daily business. But now, LeBron's sons in the league, nepotism. It's immediate. Like we never heard this word so much for it to be highlighted as a bad thing until lo and behold, a Black father is doing something for his son. Because on one hand, we got Black fathers by and large being demonized and being illustrated by the worst of us. So the fathers that are deadbeats, those are somehow what's get pictured for most Black men. Right. But then we got these fathers that are, man, A1 fathers, getting their sons, like giving them the drive in order for them to get to wherever it is they want to go. And then it's like, oh, that's nepotism, or this, we don't want to see this. Enough of this. So that's just another little nugget that I just thought about. Like, I wonder if this is Black fathers being penalized for giving their sons confidence in an engine. Because, you know, man, I ain't gonna lie, I seen Shedeur Sanders' chain that day. He had on that necklace the day he was getting ready to get drafted. That's exactly what they wanted to shut down. They don't.
Why?
Wear that necklace.
I don't agree with that.
That necklace. The necklace is crazy.
I disagree totally.
Where are you going? The thing is that when you look at it from the standpoint, so when Black men raise their sons up to be confident and to be proud of who they are, they want to tear that down. They want to make that to be a problem. So now, and then when you're talking about nepotism, like you said, it goes on in general in everyday life. With sports, it is ridiculous. How many of these white coaches have coached because their daddies was coaches, their uncles was coaches, and they never even played college ball. So like how the guy just asked the question about
Okay.
did Bone play in the NFL? But we got people coaching, and some of your favorite coaches ain't even play high school.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a
But
great
because they
point.
daddy was this person and they daddy was that person, they able to get it. And we don't talk about that. But now it's a big thing when it comes to Shedeur and Bronny and this and that. But how many of these coaches? And then we act like they supposed to like coaching was something that you just trickle down and pass down to somebody. Oh, you're a coach, so yeah, you got it in you to coach. Like no, and these guys be and a bunch of these NFL, NBA coaches are constantly recycled and are not winning coaches. But they
Right.
constantly keep getting recycled and being shoved down our throat and been told to us that they are great coaches. And we look at their record, he under 500, he under 500. How are they great coaches? And then you
Meanwhile, Mark Jackson can't get another
can't
job
get a job.
nowhere. Can't get a
Exactly.
job. No, and then was at least he was at least a component of building that dynasty in Golden State. Like he was laying the foundation for that. Now, I can't take it as far. Listen, I personally believe Mark Jackson would have won a championship if he had stayed there. But I won't even go that far and state that as a fact. But it is a fact that years before we all start admitting it, Mark Jackson said that Klay Thompson and Steph Curry was the best shooting backcourt of all time, bro. And did it not unfold just as he said though? Like because when they was like dang near like second, third year in the league when he was calling this out.
And Steph
But
was still hurt all the time then. He
right.
saw something in when Steph was still hurt, and people could the Nike people couldn't even do a pitch to him and get his name correct. And Mark Jackson was calling out how great of a shooter he was and everything then long before, but nobody saw it. But then now, when it all comes together, he builds this team up, get the draft pieces there, they win and they go from struggling to here to winning, and now they on the cusp of being great. Oh, we give Steve Kerr the job, and now you know what we say? The white man is the savior. He came in and he saved the day, and this is why we won the championship. This goes on in sports all the time. I mean, and that's a fact.
And the point of me bringing up Mark Jackson was to tie into your point because of you talking about the recycling of coaches that are losers, but they go from this team to that team to this team to this team. Meanwhile, our bros, and they do the same thing with black quarterbacks too. Like, bro, they fall off. There's no role for they say there's no role for him as a backup because he's too much. He got too much attention. You know, when it comes to a bro that's like not a starter no more, like Cam Newton, for example. How is Cam Newton just washed?
Exactly.
That don't make sense to me, bro. That doesn't make sense to me that Cam Newton ain't Joe Flacco still playing. Cam Newton could still be playing.
How long did Fitzpatrick play? And he was a career backup that occasionally got in the game. So interception after interception, and they say he still brings value to the team, and he's a great guy to have in the locker room. Now, what does that mean? What does that really mean?
And you know, something else too. I never seen them really get good weapons for these black quarterbacks either. I don't want to ramble too far off a page, but I'm just trying to think. Have we ever seen a black quarterback that has like crazy weapons on the outside?
Yeah, we have.
Have we?
Yeah.
I just want to know. I mean, let me know because it seems like Mark Jackson always needs some more. Mark Jackson could use. I mean, Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson.
Lamar don't have a lot. He don't have a ton of weapons. I'd agree.
I ain't never. He didn't have no weapons. Who else? Give me one that had some weapons. Michael Vick. Michael Vick did have Deshaun Jackson though. He was a nuclear weapon.
Vick had. I mean, you look. Shoot, Warren Moon had weapons. Culpepper when he had Randy Moss and
Randy
them.
Moss.
You've had
Randall
them.
Cunningham. Who Randall have? Huh?
I can't remember who was there with Randall Cunningham, but it wasn't like he had a ton of talent outside. But there's been a couple. There's been a couple that had legitimate weapons, and but that'll always be the argument too, though. When you look at the quarterback position specifically, they'll say people like Tom Brady did it without weapons. So if you want to be considered on that level, then you have to get it done. But I mean, Pat Mahomes, he had weapons, he got it done. You got. I mean,
you said Tom Brady didn't have weapons.
Most would say he didn't. When he did have them with Randy Moss, they lost in the Super Bowl. Every time.
Yeah, I don't think Tom Brady never had weapons. I don't think Tom Brady has had. I mean, well, Gronkowski is an ultimate weapon. I don't think he's a conventional weapon, but he's a big dog weapon that was great. But no, not on the outside. I don't think Brady has never had that much. Brady ain't really been that good.
Edelman, and you had Wes Welker, and they just fit a spot. They knew how to move the chains, but they weren't like what you would consider a legitimate deep threat or number one option out.
They ain't like no Michael Irvin, not like Michael Irvin or Chris Carter.
He never had.
Well, he had Randy Moss,
but they always use their tight ends like they were wide receivers. Because he's had two great tight ends.
Mm-hmm. Like he had Gronk, Aaron Hernandez. They never won. Aaron Hernandez never won a Super Bowl with him. I don't think he never won. Not that that's the measuring stick of whether or not you good, but they traditionally didn't have offensive talent like that. They had Gronk and they had a nice possession receiver, but that's how they executed their offense. They had Edelman and they had Welker, and they would get it done. They always had a nice pass catching running back, and they hit you in the 10 to 15 yards, and they kept the chains moving, get in the end zone, and rely on Tom Brady not to make mistakes. And he managed the game well.
Hey, what's our kid that graduated from Ohio State? Young kid, Harrison. I mean, Marvin Harrison Jr.
Mm-hmm.
I want him, Shedeur to team up in Cleveland. That'll be cold. Get them two together. Then we need a
Marvin
another crazy receiver. Who's another solid receiver that's just lit? Get Shedeur every weapon that it's possible.
So, I mean, we've been talking here about the NFL. What about college football is starting to ramp up now, and they should be in camp and stuff because we're about 2-3 weeks away from college football season starting. So
yeah, this is your list, cuz of the top teams for 2025. Just a poll.
So, Bone, what's your take? You think O State can repeat?
No. And part of that is because I'm not an Ohio State fan.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah, so my objective take on Ohio State repeating is we have yet to see at what level the quarterback is going to play. They, in my opinion, they have the two best college football players in the nation, though. Downs at safety and the freshman last year, the wide receiver. Those are the best two players in the nation by far.
Dang.
But if the quarterback doesn't play well, they're going to have trouble to win it. They stockpile with talent. Talent ain't going to be a question, but whether or not the quarterback is going to get it done that's going to dictate whether or not Ohio State can repeat. And history shows that usually doesn't happen. You're not going to have a first-time starter come in and win in that conference.
We need to interview Notre Dame's coach, bro. And he's like right from here, though, ain't he?
Yes.
Notre Dame's coach, yeah, he should come on the pod with us one time, bro. That'll be cool. I want to see Notre Dame win it. That's who I want to see them win it, just because he from the city. You know what I'm saying? He right here, and he's a good young strong coach, bro. You know what I'm saying? He done got that program together real quick. I mean, Notre Dame is always like in the hunt though, for real. But he's kept them there and got to the national championship last year. So I'm rooting for little bro. Let me see who else do I like.
I would like to see Notre Dame win it. That would definitely be something very exciting to see.
My nephew down in Kentucky, Jamil Atkinson. I think he's sitting out this year though, his first year. But he's been practicing, so he might be playing. But he's just a freshman. The big from Trotwood.
Okay.
Yeah. He's down at Kentucky, man. He's getting his college career going. So of course I'm rooting for him. I want to see him win a championship. That'll be fire.
Texas is going to be a tough out as far as the national championship goes, with all the cats they got returning and Arch Manning at quarterback.
Yeah,
they're gonna be a solid squad. I think it's gonna be hard to beat them. They start off with O State though, at O State, so that should be a good game.
Texas and Ohio State play the first game of the year.
Correct.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
my prediction is that Texas is going to curb stomp Ohio State.
You think they're going to curb stomp? Hey, man, my daughter's going to Ohio State, bro. We got to win. Damn, Texas is crazy like that. Man. Texas does not want.
So you're saying you're an Ohio State fan?
Yeah, so far I'm a Kentucky fan, Ohio State, and Notre Dame, and Colorado too. Because Colorado, I'm a big Colorado fan.
So looking at
it's gonna be a rough year for you this year, bro.
You don't think Colorado gonna be good this year, bro?
Huh? Do I think they're going to be good?
Yeah.
No, I'm a hater.
Why are you hating on Colorado?
No, I was just saying that because that's how it'll come off. But right, Deion was my favorite player, but I don't think that team is going to be that good this year. I don't think they'll be that good.
Why is that? Well, they say they got two good quarterbacks.
They got I believe the number one quarterback coming out from this previous class, but I don't think that they're going to have just the talent. I think it's going to be a talent thing, and I think that that's ultimately going to be not necessarily Deion's demise, but I think you only have so many times where you can go to the transfer, reload your squad. He relies on it, in my opinion, a lot more than your average squad, and it's just a talent gap. At the end of the day, it's a talent gap, and he's not going to be able to compete with the upper echelon programs when it comes to getting top-notch talent in the Colorado. I just think that's the reality, and people aren't acknowledging that. Deion even acknowledged, he's like, you might as well pick the teams that are going to be in the playoff, because the top talent are going to go to those big programs, and that's what wins at the end of the day.
So, but with the transfer portal, do you not think that it has made the parity a lot different? Because now we're not looking. Do you think we're still going to be able to have like Alabama was like a dynasty for a while? Do you think that's still going to exist in today's portal days? And then Deion isn't the only coach that is recruiting heavily out of the portal. I mean, even like on the basketball side, you got some coaches that have a completely different team year in and year out. Rick Pitino just came out and said he's not recruiting any high school kids ever again. He's only getting kids out of the portal.
And you go solicit a player from another team while they're playing for that team. So if Dion sees a kid at Ohio State that he likes, is he allowed to go and tamper and
Not
ask him to get in the portal next year?
not by rule, you're not supposed to, but that does not mean that type of stuff doesn't take place though. But by it's not legal to tamper with somebody else's player, but it
What
happens
if
because
and is every off season all players are free game?
For the most part, it's the wild, wild west.
now because everybody has a representative. So just like you said that the kid, your nephew that played at Kentucky. So you know what? I don't necessarily go talk directly to the kid, but if you are the person that's kind of handling helping with stuff, this and that, they'll find a way to contact you, and then that's how it goes and gets the plan in motion. And then next thing you know, now he's in the portal because an NIL deal is coming from or collective deal is coming from somewhere, and that somebody else is want to be a higher bidder. So,
how did Arch Manning do last year, bro?
He started a few games while Ewers was hurt, and he did decent. I don't think he did anything that was like out of control, but
why didn't he start? What he played behind somebody at Texas?
He played behind Quinn Ewers, the guy that went in the 7th round, that was the number 1 prospect coming out of high school, went to Ohio State, went to Texas, and no one's talking about.
So why? So wait a minute. Why are they acting like? Why are they acting like it's an Archie Manning sweepstakes for next year in the NFL if Archie Manning didn't even start over somebody who went in the 7th round? Because from what they saying, the Browns need to just whiff on this year so they can get Archie Manning next year. But he couldn't even get on the field. What's going on?
And then also, I asked you this, Bone. You said Ewers was the number 1 high school player coming out, and now he go to the 7th round, but he went to Ohio State. Right. Then he was at Texas. So did maybe something was shown that the year he was at Ohio State that maybe he wasn't that?
I'm not arguing that. At all. I'm saying that the reason I brought that up originally was because people were saying draft analysts had Shedeur so high. But draft analysts also said that he was going to be a consensus top 1st round draft pick. He went in the 7th round. That's all. That's the only thing I was saying about him. And the same goes for the people that were saying that Shedeur was number 2 in draft boards. But they weren't. All I'm saying, they weren't in those draft rooms. And
Shedeur Sanders wore that big necklace and his whole outfit on draft day in order to pay tribute to his father, who wore a similar outfit when he got drafted. That's what BP he told me that. He just hit me onto that. Let's see. He didn't want to compete with CJ Stroud for the job, took the money and ran. That's what happened with Ewers.
He wasn't going to start over. Yeah, he wasn't going to start over CJ Stroud, and went down to Texas. And my personal opinion, I might be wrong, but I think the Manning family, not that they are able to dictate when Arch got on the field, I think they were fine with him sitting on the bench those first 2 years. Because when he wasn't going to necessarily have any growing pains when he come out, I think he's going to be pretty polished, and he don't have to have any wear and tear those 2 years. They're already predicting he's the number 1 draft pick, and he's getting paid already. When you look at the college, the media days for the SEC, there was more people there to see him than there were to see their starting quarterback.
Will Blackburn just said, so a white legacy name like Manning means more than a black legacy name like Sanders. No. You wait. Man, listen, bro. I'm going to tell you guys about, please, let me please just cook 1 second, bro. Hold on, wait a minute. The white media is so
That's a
psyched
bad
out,
spot,
bro.
bro.
And
I'm telling you, that's a bad
listen, bro. I'm
spot.
telling you.
That's a
And
bad
look,
spot.
this ain't.
That's a
Listen,
bad
bro.
spot to go. That's a bad
No,
spot to
bro.
go.
Because this is what I've been seeing with Luka and LeBron. Now I know this is all off topic a little, but it'll tie back in. With Luka and LeBron, the media coverage is this: when LeBron was there and he was trying to pick players to be on his team and orchestrating stuff, it was always looked at as a bad light. It's lead GM, lead this, lead. LeBron's got, he need more help. He need more of this. He always trying to pick the team. Da, 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 da. They act like this is the worst thing in the world. But now that Luka is there, I've heard the media glow over the fact that Luka recruited Marcus Smart, that this is Luka's team now. They got to get the players to go around Luka, and Luka got to sign off on every pick. It's like, oh, they so happy. And maybe like they're not wrong, because I think that a certain part of everybody might feel good when they see themselves represented. So it hasn't been a lot of really white superstars for white people to really kind of like be they just about. It hasn't, man. And they like
But that's
watching
different from what
basketball.
you were. That was different from the original. The original was a legacy name like the Mannings.
Manning's right.
Legacy name
Right.
Sanders. That's a bad position to take.
It's the truth, though.
No, it's
They value
not.
the Manning name more than the Sanders name.
I would think that would be true. That would be true. And everything that you were saying regarding LeBron and Luka may be true, but that's a different argument altogether. The reason I say that is, one, when you're talking about the legacy name conversation, Manning versus Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders, in my opinion, is one of the best athletes to ever lace them up and play football. But I do understand from an objective standpoint, there is a difference from a defensive back and a quarterback. Peyton Manning is widely argued to be one of the best quarterbacks to ever play. Not to mention his dad
I'm a Manning fan, bro. I like Peyton Manning. I like Peyton because Peyton played with Peerless and Andy. So I'm like,
but that's not the end of it, though, bro. That's not the end of it.
No, I'm just saying that's why I am a Manning fan, though. I'm not saying that to diss the Mannings, but
no, I'm not either. I'm saying when you talk about the legacy,
like the Mannings, but I do feel like that they are more valued. And you said for a reason, though, because he's a quarterback.
He not only he's a quarterback, but look at what he has done thus far.
Yes.
That kid, Shedeur was not coming up. And this is not a not. I believe Deion, the player, is better than all of them. That's my personal opinion. But you can't knock where that kid was balling coming out of high school. Shedeur was not. Shedeur, one of the reasons that Deion was able to coach him the way that he all the way up through college is because Shedeur wasn't a heavily recruited quarterback. He wasn't that coming out of high school. And the reason that he was able to go to like a Jackson State is because he wasn't going to Power 5 schools. Arch, on the other hand, everybody in America wanted him. And it wasn't just because his name is Arch Manning. The kid can play.
But I don't think that's what the point of what he was saying when he said about the legacy name meaning more. It is something that with the legacy name of Manning, look, just the stuff of what Eli pulled on draft day and everything, because everybody viewed their daddy as being such a great guy and being a smart guy with the decisions that he made to not, oh, Eli ain't gonna play here, Eli ain't gonna do this, Eli ain't gonna do that. But yet if Deion didn't even say some of the things that what he said, but when that comes about, now it's viewed completely differently because there's a black man saying that. So the legacy of that white man's name holds a different value of how it's perceived and portrayed in the media than what a black man's name is.
I'm with y'all to a degree, but the only difference I would say is you have to look at the talent. That's why I said Arch coming out of high school, he was such a big. I mean, everybody in America wanted him. Everybody in America didn't want Shedeur, and that's why I asked the question. If he was as talented as his dad, most of them would say Eli and Peyton were better than their father. They're not
Because he
saying
wasn't that good. Their daddy wasn't that good.
okay, be that as it may. Shedeur was not as good as Arch. When you talk, that plays into that conversation. That's all I'm saying. I definitely believe that there's going to be some discrepancies and there's going to be some bull when you compare a legacy black name versus a legacy white name. But that's not, it's more nuanced than that when you look at what happened with Shedeur and Arch Manning. Arch Manning, at the end of the day, I would love to be able to say Shedeur is a better quarterback than him, but at this point, I would say he's not. He's not.
What has Arch?
That's
What
all
has
I'm
Arch?
saying. That matters.
What has Arch done in Texas? What has he done since he's been in Texas? What has he done for us to say?
He has not done a lot at Texas. No.
So
wait a minute, hold on, Johnny Mac. Wait, hold on.
Talking about him being a draft pick.
Hold on, we got to get to the comments real quick because everybody is going crazy right now. Hold on,
I love it. They probably hate me.
Yeah, they are. Hold on. It says, guys, Prime has been teaching Shedeur defense and how to read them all his life. The kid can play. He's very smart and cerebral. He is better than he's better than all of the QBs drafted before him. Shawnee Mack said, what the F is TA talking about? Okay, hold on. He said, I'm in Tennessee, and guess what? Peyton Manning has an 8th grade son, Marshall, that is coming up. So Peyton Manning's got a son coming up now. So now what are we gonna do? Shawnee Mack, let's see, hold on. Hold on. So with TA's reasoning, then Shiloh should get more love because he plays the same position as Dion. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. This person, hold on. BP said, so Shedeur winning his high school championship in Texas back to back. Then the SWAC championship was not winning. He said, what do you mean? And then
he didn't win a SWAC championship. He never won a championship.
No, he went to the
SWAC championship.
They didn't win
the black national the black national championship, but they won the SWAC championship both years they was there.
Okay, and then it says
undefeated in the SWAC.
Johnny Mack said that Bama, Georgia, and FSU all offered Shedeur. He said so. Making be specific. Oh, he said, and Michigan also offered. Bon, so he's better than Archie Man. Man, Archie Manning ain't even got off the bench though. Why ain't got on the bench? Yes,
he was offered by Florida State
bench for 2 years. He's sitting on the bench.
South Carolina, Tennessee,
behind the guy that couldn't start at Ohio State, and then he went in the 7th round. You behind a 7th rounder as a junior, or what? As a sophomore.
So let me Shawnee Mack just sent me this, so let me tell y'all this. So he was offered. Shedeur was offered by Alabama. Went on a visit there. Arizona State, Baylor, Florida State, Georgia Tech, Louisville, LSU, Michigan, Oregon. He had offers by all the Syracuse, Tennessee, UCLA, Vanderbilt. That sounds like Power 5 programs, bro.
I mean, after you said Alabama, that was enough. Alabama, if they offer you, you can go anywhere.
That's true. And I ain't gonna even go there with because he already know what he was offered, but I ain't gonna. It's not even worth at this point to go through all the details on why he was offered by the schools he was offered, but it's cool.
Well, It'll be very interesting.
It was
It'll be
more about,
interesting.
I
I'm
would
gonna
say this.
follow. I'm gonna
I
follow
would argue it was
Arcane.
more about his
I'm
dad than
rooting
it
for
was
him.
about him.
Why he got those offers?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was at that point, it was very clear that Deion was going to be coaching at the collegiate level. And the best way to get him was son.
Nobody offered Deion a college coaching job except
They
for
didn't
Jackson
offer him
State.
a head coaching job.
They didn't offer Deion. That's the point. Nobody offered him a job except for
And where
Jackson
did
State.
Shedeur go?
Yeah, after he was
I'm
already,
picking up what
but
you
he was
said.
already committed to Florida. He was committed to Florida Atlantic.
So they're saying the Celebration Bowl he lost is the main
Yes.
reason he dropped.
Yes, that's the Black College National Championship, the celebration.
Well,
one,
I'm talking
which is
about this year. Didn't they make a bowl game this year and Shedeur
They
played
played BYU.
bad? Yeah, he
They
played
played
bad
BYU.
in that bowl game. So, I mean, I don't know, man. A lot of these players don't want to play in them bowl games at the end, and I think they
You
feeling
think
like
that bowl
man,
game hurt his draft status?
that's what the comments are saying. I mean, probably. Yeah. I think that was the worst he looked. So if they was evaluating him by that game, then maybe, I don't know. I think it was mostly racism.
It was what?
Mostly racism. That got Shedeur dropped in the draft like that. It was that they wanted to shut down bombastic black fathers, man, and they want them to shut their mouth and come out here and play and stay quiet, shut up and dribble. And
do you think that would have been the case
in order to
if he was the number one quarterback coming out? You think that would have?
Yes. Let me tell you what they used to do, bro.
He would have went in the fifth round.
He ain't bigger than the game, no matter how good he is. And listen, what they used to do, bro, with the roughest, toughest, most mean slave, they would take him in the field and tell everybody to gather around. And they'll tar and feather him in front of everybody and beat him and set him on fire. The best one. The best one. And so that's what you do. You take the best.
Why did they not do that with Deion? Deion was by far the best.
I know that, bro.
Why did they not do it with him? Why did they not do it?
It's a new day. It's a new day that they don't do it with every loud black player. But in this case, it was their time because like Deion was kind of like egging it on a little bit too. Like he was kind of poking. He was too uppity. He was, we might not play for this team. We might not go to the Deion was. I'm saying Deion was talking about where he might. I don't think it's
no problem with that. If he want to do that, I think he can do that. That's the same thing the Mannings did with Eli. The Mannings did that with Eli.
Effect. It's man,
y'all are dodging this. In my opinion, y'all are dodging this part of it.
Oh,
he's not as good as his dad.
No, I know that, but it still was like it was shocking. It was shocking to see him.
It wasn't to me.
But bro, think about the coverage. Think about the media coverage of Shedeur Sanders not getting drafted. It was like it started becoming embarrassing and like, man, what's going on here? Like. You could say the owners don't want that distraction.
I think if anything, that may be the travesty. I think if you ask around in NFL circles with people that really knew behind the scenes what was going on, that may have been the thing. People knew Shedeur wasn't going to go that high. But they let people just run out there like, yeah, he's number one, he's number two, he's number one, he's number two. And they like let him keep saying that. And lo and behold, he went in the fifth round. I don't think that Shedeur would have. I don't think he was that talented to go like number one, number two in the draft. I just don't believe.
But not fifth round though, bro. We just saying not fifth round.
Where do you think he?
First. He should have went first. He's the biggest, brightest star
he
in
was
the
not
whole
that.
NFL. Listen, bro, he's the biggest, brightest star in the whole draft. He must see TV. Nobody cares about any other rookie other than Shedeur right now. I mean, as far as just like what are the casual football fans? It's Shedeur. That's who people want to see. Just as a business move, you would have brought him in if it was just like all a level playing field. But they didn't do that.
I
Man,
get
these
that.
teams are not about winning. Like all of them ain't about winning. Some are, but all of them are not. Man, some of them want to get
Which
paid.
one winning?
Huh? Which teams are about
Which
winning?
one are not? No, are not about winning.
The
The
Browns.
Browns,
The Browns.
they ain't caring about winning.
I say
They ain't never cared about winning.
mhm. That's one of the sorriest franchises in the world. What else? The Bengals. They're
The
another team
Panthers,
like,
the
huh?
Panthers,
The
the Panthers.
Yep.
They,
Yes.
they ain't trying to win. They ain't caring about winning. And a lot
Some
of
of
them
these
owners,
dusty teams, man.
and Cuz is absolutely correct. There's a lot of owners. All they worried about is the dollar bottom line. They don't care about what's going to happen because the TV contracts is bringing in the money. So they not caring about a whole lot of this stuff. Long as the dollar bottom line is what it's supposed to be. If we
And,
win, we win. If we don't, oh well, I'm still getting
and
my
look,
money.
we're going to wrap it up after this, but man, like the Dallas Cowboys, the way that it looks with now the Cowboys fans do, but like the owners of the Cowboys not paying players, always at odds with their stars about contract negotiation, and then going and hiring these coaches that don't really stand on business that they can control and all of that other stuff. I would say even a great team, a prominent team, a popular team like the Cowboys, it don't seem like they owners care about winning. Not right now, because they know they're gonna get that money regardless. So I don't know,
That's why
man.
they always asking the players to take a discount.
Yeah,
So they try to get
I
more
think
money back into their pot.
Shedeur is the biggest, brightest star in this draft, and I feel like if Shedeur has a good line and some weapons, we'll see him win. But if he don't, then it ain't gonna be too much that he can do. But he's better than Joe Flacco, uh, Pickens, and the other kid, Gabriel. He's the star, man. You know, let him play. The fans coming to see who they want. You know what I'm saying? They let them lose.
Fans are
If
coming
Shedeur
to
don't,
see Cleveland win.
but now they coming to see Shedeur now. They coming to see Shedeur. They coming to see Shedeur. The
Now I'm
people
gonna
want
say
to see
this:
stars, bro.
the Browns have they have a
Cleveland
fan
has one
base.
of the loyal fan base Browns.
Yes,
Yes,
they
they
do.
Browns.
Yes, they
And I
do.
don't know why these folks are so loyal because they don't watch nothing but losing after losing after losing after losing, year in, not only year from tens and I mean, when the last time they won, Jim Brown, we still got folks talking about Jim Brown playing. Like, man,
Yes.
how long ago was that?
Yes.
Like,
And so the point is, and to your point, cuz that takes away from what I'm saying, which is true. Like the Browns, they love the Browns. They love the football team. They love the player. I mean, they love the organization and the Browns. They real Browns fans. So with or without Shedeur, they still gonna watch.
right.
But as a fan that's been there through all of these down years, and a ray of light comes in like a Shedeur Sanders that is like some must-see TV, somebody that's really like interesting, and you don't let him play,
And
and we've been sticking with you through all of these losing seasons, and we
do you
finally
realize there's
get
a significant
somebody, huh?
this is unpopular amongst our group, but
Yeah,
there's a significant number of people that don't want to see Shedeur play at all.
that is true.
Those
I've
people
been
that
watching it. Yes, you're right.
you're talking from the perspective of a minority.
Of a
Shedeur
Negro.
Shedeur represents a lot of people don't like in their quarterback. They don't like that in the face of their franchise. You're saying it like, oh, Cleveland is just rah rah. There was people that pissed to see Shedeur get
That's
drafted by Cleveland.
You are
So
absolutely right.
you're thinking, you're over there like, oh, everybody, there's going to
I'm
be
thinking
plenty
like a
that are
Negro.
pissed.
And
Yeah.
the people that
And
were pissed off probably have the same mentality of what we were talking about earlier that's coming from the media because of the mispropaganda of because they're trying to make him be some arrogant, out of control dude when that is not who this dude is at all. That wasn't who Dion is. I met Dion when I was at Tennessee State and they had a celebrity game. Dion was a very cool dude, man. Very cool. Nowhere near any type of arrogance and anything. But if you listen to when he talk, he's kind of tell you what it is. There's a Deion Sanders and then there's a Prime. And Prime is basically a character. And when he goes out here to do his sports and stuff, he plays his character up Prime.
Bone, hey, when you said that there's a lot of people that hate Shedeur and don't want to see him play, somebody in the comments, BP said they are called racist.
That's why I said it.
but
That's the
it's the
same
truth.
mentality of what we was talking
It's
about.
the truth.
Because they
It's the
saw
truth,
what you was talking about, because they saw the necklace, they saw this, and they take that to be something that is not. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So now every time black men put on jewelry, they got to be drug dealers. But if you go back into the beginning of time with the pharaohs and the kings and all this and that, they wore jewelry back then. So therefore, well, how does that now become a negative connotation?
Man, bro, for shits and giggles, this is Ahava Eve right now, bro. It's Ahava Eve. I'm with my brothers, man. And man, for everybody that's watching, bro, we do want y'all to know, man, like us three, bro, we've been together since we've been kids, bro. And for us to, still be here together to do a podcast shows my ability to be magnetic and keep these two together. Okay. Bro. Nah, bro. Let's do for shits and giggles, bro. What we got so everybody can get up out of here, bro.
Today,
Everybody, hold on, because one more thing. I'm sorry to cut you off, but everybody that's watching, y'all, please hit the like button for us, bro, so we can just stay turned and make sure y'all subscribe to the channel so y'all can get notified every time we drop. All right, cuz, go ahead. Back to you, bro.
Today, I want to give out a couple shout outs. You know what I'm saying? I want to give a shout out to Justin O'Neill. Tell nephew happy birthday. Want to get out some birthday shout outs. And I want to give a shout out to my niece, Anaya DeLon Gilbert, who is very special to me. Somebody that my niece that has been, she's turning 29 today, and we have a relationship that is just unbelievable. So I want to say happy birthday to you, Peaches. Much love. Enjoy your day. I hope you had the best day. And so that's what I want to do with the for shits and giggles today, and give out a couple shout outs. And then I also want to give a shout out to, we started our podcast, but I want to give a shout out to Carlos Knox and a Starstruck podcast, and tell everybody to go watch that, because that's a great podcast, man. So much love to you, Los. Keep doing your thing. And that's what I want to say for the day. Just give a few shout outs.
For me, I'll stay in the lane of giving shout outs. This is a special week because Ahava's birthday tomorrow. It would have been my grandfather's tomorrow. So Poppy's would have been tomorrow, and my dad's, it would have been this past third. So the two men that made me who I am, big shout out to them. This is a special week for the Leo, and it's always cool to think about both of them. And
me and Poppy got the same birthday, bro.
Yeah, you and Poppy had the same birthday. Yep.
That is so crazy, bro. I'm telling you, it's something in the numbers, man. Man, big shout out to Poppy and Dad, man. Love you guys.
And I have a happy birthday, and we're looking forward to the white party on Saturday.
Yes, bro. Yep. So anybody that's watching, if you're not a violent, crazy person, man, come down to Agnes All Natural Grill. All right. On Saturday night, like 9:00, man. It's gonna be my 50th birthday. All white party too. Everybody gonna look clean and be like, but man, my for shits and giggles is shit, man, just things working themselves out. That's the whole point of For Shits and Giggles, for us to be able to just look at things when you feel like you just in a rut, man. You don't know what's gonna happen, and then somehow, some way you get through it, man. And then a week or two later, you can tell the story and laugh about how nervous you were or whatever it might be. So I'll give you a For Shits and Giggles. This is a good one. Man, I wake up and I have a little headache or something, man. And then I automatically say, damn, this is the way that it starts. This is the way I'm going to end up going to heaven. Any little thing that happens to me, okay? If I got a headache, if I stub my toe, I'm like, damn. But this pain end up leading to something much worse. All right.
So is that a way of saying you're a hypochondriac or something? Something wrong with you, bro?
No, I'm not a hypochondriac, but just like, and I'm telling you, bro, any little thing, like for example, I'm telling you, like with glasses, bro. I used to did not need glasses for real, but then I needed them a little bit. But now it's like, damn, bro, I need glasses for real. And so now I'm wondering, am I going blind?
You're 50.
Absolutely, you are.
That's what I'm saying. Any little thing I think is going to the worst extreme. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. But then I'll get healthy again, like in the next 2 minutes, and then be like, oh, good. Guess I'm okay after all.
You cool, man. Are you still waiting on a growth spurt?
Yeah. I seen this operation. There is an operation I could have to put like some like little extenders in my knees and I would get taller. I seen it like you can't walk for like a year. Who would do that, man? Well, when do y'all do that?
No. Hey, that was man, this is another good episode of For Shits and Giggles, man. I think we wanted to tell everybody that commented and joined in to continue to follow us, subscribe, and be a part of the conversations on Tuesdays, on Thursdays and Sundays, man. So we look forward to continuing good content, and also if somebody has a subject matter or something that they would like to discuss with us or want us to discuss, please give us a suggestion and put that in the comments also.
Metal Dell versus Colonel White will be a great one. I love talking about that.
Yes, sir. Man, BP, thank you, bro. Thank you, Will. Thank you, Todd. Thank you, Rick. Shawnee Mack, of course. Clyde Marshall, my bro. Shawnee Mack, Clyde, Judon. We had a lot of people pull up on us. All right, y'all. See y'all Sunday night at 7:00.
All right.
Giggles.
Love, fellas.
Yeah.